Hi, this is Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. Today I thought I'd talk about the concept of perfection versus Parkies. Now, I've never seen myself as a perfectionist. I try my best to do my best, but I never strive to be perfect. In fact, when I was at work, I used to say that perfection is highly overrated. In setting ourselves up to be perfect, it can often be too high an expectation. So when I have my grandchildren with me, we often do baking, and sometimes we have to improvise because working with children can be a bit of a challenge, and they don't have the skills that I might have even with my Parkinson's because they're learning. But every now and again I do something that, maybe I should have thought a little bit harder about, but it ends up okay in the end. So this particular day we were making some biscuits, and I didn't have a big enough tray, so I put balls of biscuit mix on this tray and put them in the oven. Well, when they came out, they had all spread out, and they're all manner of shapes and sizes, and the kids looked at them a bit dismayed and said, well, they didn't turn out very well. And I said, it doesn't matter what they look like. They don't have to look perfect, but they will taste perfectly wonderful because they have the special ingredient in them. And then I said to my kids, and what's the special ingredient? And they all said, love. So anything that's built or baked with love is perfect in my eyes. So with Christmas this year, we had the joy of having the whole family here with us for Christmas. So my son, my daughter, and their three kids each, and my daughter-in-law, and of course my husband and myself. So we were very full. There was no room at the inn, and my husband, in the lead up to Christmas, said to me, where are we going to fit everybody? We don't have enough room. And I said, yes we do, we'll find a way. That's what families do. Now my husband comes from a very small family, so he's not used to the chaos that can ensue with a large family, and I think sometimes he finds it overwhelming. But I know my kids, and I know that they are adaptable and will muck in, so everything would work out. So we had bodies on the floor, we had bodies in recliners, we had bodies in tents. We didn't have enough pillows, so we used cushions. We didn't have enough blankets, so we used sleeping bags. And it wasn't perfect. It's not 4-star accommodation by any means, but we were all together for Christmas for the first time in years, and that made it perfect for me. And it got me to thinking about perfection and Parkinson's. Now, there are some of us who have been able to do things like tramping in the hills and would still like to do things like that. Now, I haven't been able to go tramping properly with my husband for at least a couple of years, if not more. I hate to think how long. And I'd like to get back to that, but I can't see me getting back to walking for 6 hours over steep hills anytime soon, if ever. But rather than letting go of that dream, I'll modify that. So if I can walk for 1 hour or 2 hours, hey, maybe even 3 hours, then I'm part of the way to getting back to what I was, to being able to be with my husband in the hills where he loves to walk with me by his side. So for me, being able to do that at all would be perfect. With doing this podcast, I've put myself out there, and my voice is not always perfect. In fact, far from it. Now, I used to be a broadcaster. I worked as a co-host on a breakfast show, and my kids always used to say, oh, here she is with her radio voice, when I phoned somebody, or just if I sounded a bit posh, I suppose. So, yeah, I did a broadcasting degree, and my voice certainly isn't up to broadcasting standards at the moment, but I can still speak, and I have some software that can help me a little bit, and I can at least do this, which is what I've wanted to do. Maybe not to absolute perfection, but well enough to be heard. Now, the software that I'm using also has a ability to sort of perfect your voice. I can't kind of think how to put it, but you sort of push a button and it improves your voice and the voice quality. Now, I did it on one of my podcasts, and I played it back, and I hated it. It sounded weird. It didn't sound like me. It didn't sound like me at all. And I would rather be warts and all, stutters and stammers and ums and ahs and all those things, and be real, than to be synthesized by a machine into something that the AI says that sounds better. I would much rather be heard as I am, with the croaky voice that I have now, but trying my best to do something, somehow, to reach people with Parkinson's like me. I've always said in my blogs that I would be honest in everything I said and did, and I don't think it's honest to synthesize my voice to make it something that it's not. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there, in that I think we should celebrate what we can do, even if it's reduced, rather than saying, I just can't do that at all anymore. I feel I need to try to do these things, even though sometimes I will learn how to do something with this podcast and think I've achieved something. And do you think I can think of it the next day or even the next hour? I go to do it again and go, oh bugger, I can't remember quite how I did it. And it'll take me some toing and froing and going into various parts of the program to try and figure things out. And it's frustrating, and maybe it's my brain getting overtaxed, but sometimes I can't figure it out, and sometimes I'll have a light bulb moment at 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and I have to write something down. But it's okay, it's okay if I can't remember, because I will try and try and try until I find it again, and then I will write it down so that I can not have to go through that huge process again. The message for me is try to do what you can, do the best that you can, and be kind to yourself. Sometimes when we're tired, like I am after 11:30 at night when I'm doing this, we're not at our best, but we can do our best in that moment. I have never said that I'm perfect. I would never say that I aim for perfection in anything that I do. What I aim to do is try my best. And my best is whatever it is at that time. At 11 o'clock at night, my best will be different from 11 o'clock in the morning. But I will still try my best to do my best. This has been Sue for Parkies and me, my journey with Parkinson's. I hope you'll join me. Kia kaha, be brave, be strong, be you.